thing. It's like you look at the White House. That's one of those desolate places. And the architecture, it's got the Doric pillars. It's got all the the carvings and whatnot, adhering back to that Roman style. And then even on top of that, they'll have like the Washington Monument, Cleopatra's Needle. They'll go back to Egypt as well, because why Revelation 11 says what Sodom and Egypt. That's ways that it's going to be known of America, man. Because why they practice the same practices that were done in Sodom, and same with Egypt, with the left hand side worshipping, going into witchcraft, all forms of wickedness. These are things that are done on a high level, man. That's why it says what we're against spiritual wickedness in high places. So this is it's all everything coming back, man. And Esau's trying to make use of everything he has access to make his shit as secure as he can do it, get it. So verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. And that's uh, goes back to the atomic bombs.
Well, the atomic bomb was really America establishing. So.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go into both, and
okay.
then the airstrikes as well, and that's like because more so than the nuclear capabilities, like airstrikes is a big means by which Esau exercises power. Because you go into like the vast majority of conflicts Esau gets involved in when they're doing all these strikes, when they're doing just having completely decimating certain areas, is because why? It's called what, a no-fly zone, where they'll basically just set up like, yo, they'll come they'll come to your country and say, yo, no nothing's flying. Because why? Because they have the means, the capability to basically go out there and hold their things in check. And that's why Esau maintains his military at the level he does. And it's like what the aircraft carriers, which is one of the biggest means by which you can exert that what do you call it, air force around the world, because you can basically have I think America last I checked, America had 11, and I think the most after them were China with 3, I think, but China's meant to have been building more, but this is kind of old news, I have to double check. But it was like, because of all the aircraft carriers, that's why the US can be maneuvering, exerting hella force. It says what? And deceiveth them that dwell, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by the sword and did live. Yeah. So basically, worshipping, giving all honor onto the beast, man.
Wandering after the beast.
Yeah, because they're seeing the things Esau can do, the power he can bring to bear. They're just like, oh,
who can bring
who can make who's like onto him, man? Who can make war of it?
And even you have Jake that have the same kind of mindset. Everyone's under the same spell. You speak to Jake, it's like you say anything like controversial, they'll just say, well, this is how it is, or they'll kill you.
Yeah, you speak against Esau's kingdom in any way.
They kind of like go along to get along to go along to get, however the saying goes. But that's their mindset.
No idea how the saying goes.
The mindset is basically like, look, this man is too mighty, and they can't see the chinks. They don't see that there has to be something greater than this. They can't see that. And it's really because it's Isaiah the 6th chapter, there's a mental block on the children of Israel. Because this man is talking about, I think, well, let me not go there. That's the point.
Yeah. So verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, everyone's basically completely enamored by it in the whole society. It's like for you step out of line. Well, so I think they have the saying in China. I can't remember how they on a documentary. It says the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. I think it was China, man. I don't know, one of them, but it's pretty much like that. It's like you've basically just got to comply and run with, how shit runs, or you'll catch issues, man. And that's the big part. It's like out here, you talk about, that's the thing. It's like even with Jake, it's like you might show them a clip from like Goodbye Uncle Tom, from any of the like slavery films. These guys are no, I can't even watch this, bro, because I won't even talk to white people for 3 days, bro. I'm like, whoa.
3 days. Wow, shucks.
Yeah, but that's like, it's like obviously they feel a certain way. But it's like for them, as far as they see it, they're like, this place is this is it. This is as good as it gets. And it's like, whoa, they don't really like you. Yeah, it's kind of shit. Well, you gotta find the best manner of survival within this system.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all they can see. But that's the thing. It's that mindset. You're gonna fall in. You're gonna fall into the lethal trap of that's a verse down. Because says what? And he causeth all, verse 16. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That mark, the MOTB, that charagma. That's basically that implantable RFID chip, that microchip, where you see all this technology being formed, all the framework being built, where everything's being put, being digitized, being put into the cloud, being put into the Internet of Things. Everything communicates, and every device, every system, every service that you use, they're building like a profile based on you, man. All this information, all these things are being gathered and dealt with. So what? So it's all, once it's all interwoven, that's the thing. It's like even now, cops can go to Google and be like, okay, bring me XYZ search history. Them things, like those people that get in trouble for those things, man. There's like certain things, you search it, it's like it's flagged, and then you'll basically, your name will, that should be kept in store for like future reference. So there's all these things are being built and interlinked, interwoven. Because why? It's all gonna be bound together by that mark, man. And just like how you had the big cultural push for the Yab, now, well, you had celebrities, you had the news, you had media, you had it in schools, you had it on the radio, had posters everywhere, all the different government organizations, they were offering money. Man, I heard in, was it Austria? They were offering prostitutes. You get to fuck a prosy if you get your Yab, man. Like these men are
30 minutes with any woman of your choice.
I was like, I'm like, bruv, going to, like, the fact that people are going to this extent shows, like, how significant a thing this is.
They didn't, when you got your polio, you got your BCG or whatever vaccines.
MMR?
All of that shit. Wherever. They didn't.
That cocktail.
They didn't rest some hot pussy on your shoulder and say, nigga, take this shit and you can have the time of your life with this.
Yeah, they wouldn't say, we'll put you in a raffle for $1 million. Like, I'm like, bruv, you know what? Like, man said they just dashed $1 million raw at it just to get people to jump on. That's it's actually nuts. when you think about it. But that's what's been done. Because why? This is a big fucking deal. It says what in the note, verse 17, that no man might buy or sell, save he that the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Yeah, so you're going to be cut off from society, and that's something you're seeing, man. They had it in Germany, where there was like, I believe it was in Hamburg, they said supermarkets could deny access in France as well, I believe, for restaurants, clubs, bars, concerts or whatever with a certain amount of people, all that kind of shit was limited unless you had, your proof. Australia as well. Australia's been in New Zealand as well, I believe. Where else? There's a lot of places. New York, California, I believe, in the schools as well. I was talking to one guy I hadn't seen in a while. She was telling me like at her uni, like can't go into classes unless I think you either have proof or you take a test. So I think on unis it's not enforced. Well, it's not legal. It's not been said by the government yet, but it's being enforced anyway. Because I know they've been doing that in the States. They mentioned like maybe 5 or 6, probably more by now, colleges in the US as well. So that whole infrastructure, for this to be manifest when the Kuragma is on the cutting edge, man. That's the hot new thing that everyone's gonna have to be complying with. It's all there, and people are complying. And so that's the funny thing as well. It's like, as far as for the yab rates, like they're generally in like the 80s to 90%. A lot of them it will be like 93, 95%. But then they're still like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to do even more going forward. It's building the framework for then everyone to be like, okay, to be hella ready to accept it. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding. Count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Sci-fi stigma, which the word stigma means to cut. So that goes in, that's why you have a stigmata. Sorry, stigmata, a stigma. A stigma is like, someone stigmatizes you. Say like, they say, that girl is a whore. And then someone say, why? Oh, because she slept with 5 different guys in one night. Now, why is that a stigma? Because it's because of the act you did, that name now is stuck on you. It's stigmatized on you. It's a stigma. It's a stamp that's being put upon you. And that's basically what it is. So sci-fi stigma goes also into the mark being a Kuragma, which is something that is, once it's pinned upon you, basically makes you what? Marked for destruction, as it tells you in the book of the following chapter. So that's like the main thing. That's why it says here is wisdom. Let him have understanding. And really that's why it's about being circumspect and knowing the times that you're in. Watch as well as pray. Watchmen being on the walls of Jerusalem, we have to understand what's going on. And that's even with the barcode. You have the 666 on the barcode, which is found on the Kuragma. Alright? So that's part of being watchful. Even, I always like to bring this example because it's very current and it's of great importance, and it really shows you how important it is to be in tune with everything that's going on with the news as well as the elders. In the book of Sirach, it tells you about miss not the discourse of the elders. But the Novid, alright, with that, a lot of people didn't see it coming. They weren't aware of it from before, and they're not aware of different little videos, different little tidbits of information that would have you at ease and very comfortable, and you would have seen that, you know, the snake in the grass basically before it even existed, and you would have knew that, I ain't gonna worry about this shit. The way, first and foremost, the thing that would make you not worry about it too, knowing, having the faith in the Lord, right? But then in having that, you'd be watching as well as praying, and you'd be seeing all these things happening. You'd be like, this is another one of those, you know, it's a mind game. But a lot of people, that it's fresh to them, everything that's been said to them, they've taken it and ran with it. Because as far as they're concerned, this come out of the blue, it threw them off totally, and now guess what? They've been hoodwinked into everything that comes after that. So everything that even I just saw Matthew McConaughey, he basically said that he's against children getting vaccinated. But then I saw some rebuttal and say, these are all the mandated vaccines that are for children. I'm just going to let that sit there. Now, you could say that, yeah, but that don't mean that, you know, like, if you've been watching this, the first thing you could say is, this vaccine's only been around for just over a year, alright? And how long did it take to even get into work? Then, but really what man go with is the herbs are there for man's use basically. If you get ill, go to the herbs. You ain't gotta get no vaccine, alright? You just gotta have a certain level of decorum within your lifestyle, health and diet. Don't do certain things, alright? So
it's Yahweh Shem Shai, who gives, you know, who will heal you, and make you recover.
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to. As far as for this present world, wicked as hell, people are off as hell, and all the practices are completely averse from the guidelines that were handed down. You know, it's no surprise. It's like, bruh, you know, people willingly smoke like fucking chimneys all day long. They'll smoke a pack of 20 and then get lung cancer when they're 34.
And then we questioning why you know, there isn't a good in this world.
Yeah.
It's making me think of Lamar. If there's any justice in the world.
Yeah, well, why don't you try and align yourself with it first?
That's it.
Man, I'm moving wicked as hell, man. I'm gonna murder someone and be like, oh, mercy. Give me a break. You didn't say anything?
Nah.
Close on that. Oh, well, that was it. I did finish it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sorry for us.
Season of Freeze, yeah. But yeah. That's what it is, man. It's prophecy is heavy because Esau, Edom. It's not looking good, man. But that's the thing, is his plans, dealing with, you know, you've got eyes to see. That's what it said verse 9, what? Yeah, he that have ears to hear, let him hear. If you got ears to hear, then you'll be able to hear what, like where, you know, where this thing's going, what it all means, how it's gonna shake down. But yeah, that's it's for who it's for, man. Lord willing, you know, open up your eyes, wake up to the truth, man, and then you get saved out of it. But yeah, say all praises
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakal Kadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders, great most honorable well.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.